Hey there, it's Laurelle from Arts Nursery and it's patio season. So today we're going to show you a couple of different simple syrups that you can make to put in either hot drinks or cold drinks or cocktails. It's great to have these simple syrups on hand and they really are simple. So your basic simple syrup recipe is 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water. If you want a slightly thicker simple syrup, a lot of bartenders like to use, you use 2 cups of sugar to 1 cup of water. And if you want to make a really thick simple syrup, you can use 3 cups of sugar to 1 cup of water, and that's often for glazes. So one of my favorite simple syrups that I actually put in my coffee is a Lavender Simple Syrup. And I use the 2 cups of sugar to 1 cup of water ratio. And all you do is you pick, you can tweak it. The stronger the herb that you're using, the smaller amount that you need. So I like to use about a 1/4 cup of lavender. I actually use some of the leaves as well as the blossoms. A lot of people just use the blossoms and stems. I would definitely go easy with the lavender because it's such a strong fragrance and flavor that it can be overpowering. So a 1/4 to a 1/3, you fill up your water. So your 1 cup of water in your saucepan, 2 cups of sugar, however much lavender you want, and you let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, just a slow boil. Let it cool off, steep for 30 minutes, and pour it into a sterilized jar. It can keep in your fridge for about a month. Just wonderful, and you can use it to flavor lattes. You can sprinkle the flowers. These aren't quite open, but you can sprinkle the little flowers onto the top of your latte if you want to be completely fancy. And then it's really posh. It makes your sort of afternoon coffee a whole new realm of wonderful. So there's another cool simple syrup that you can make if you want a little bit of a savory taste to cocktails or soda water. You can make a basil simple syrup, and if you don't have any basil at home, we have completely made a container for you. With the basil, I like to use 1/2 cup of basil. Same syrup recipe on this one. 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, and I use about 1/2 cup of basil. It's a little more delicate, so I actually let it come to a rolling boil in the pot for about 5 minutes. Then I let it steep for about 30 minutes. And before I forget, you strain out all the bits and pieces. I forgot to tell you that on the lavender. It might be a bit chewy if you leave them in. So you pour it through a strainer after your 30 minutes of resting, and then you put it in the jars. Same thing, this one will last about a month in the fridge as well. Rosemary is another great flavoring for simple syrup. I use about a 1/4 cup of rosemary. Again, rosemary is a really strong fragrance and flavoring, so you can go a little bit lighter. So a 1/4 cup of rosemary, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water. Let it boil, slow boil in your saucepan for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then again, let it sit for 30 minutes, strain it, and then pour it into sterilized jars. So fantastic flavoring to go in cocktails, mocktails. You can add the rosemary flavoring to lemonades, and it gives it that little bit of savory that just brings your lemonade to a whole new realm. Another one that I like to do, and it's a little bit more work. If you have roses at home, you'll probably realize that this is a really good flower year. So you can make a rose petal simple syrup. If your roses are organic, you can pick off the petals. I usually like to use about a full cup of petals. I pick off the ends right here, and you can see it also on the red petals. The ends, I pick off the ends because that is a little bit bitter. So I just use the petal portion and I remove the tip portion, because I find when I leave the tips in, it's a little bit bitter. So this one is a little bit more sugar. You actually use 7 cups of sugar, 1 cup of roses, and 3 cups of water. You actually squeeze in a little bit of orange juice. The cool thing about the roses is they impart such a light fragrance. It's really quite delicate. What you do with the sugar is to get a stronger rose fragrance if you want, and this is from a recipe, I think allitalianrecipes.com, is they actually massage the sugar into the rose petals and leave that to sit overnight. Then they take that whole batch, they add in the water, bring it up to a boil for about 5 minutes, let it sit again for that 30 minutes, strain everything out and put it into sterilized jars. It's just a lovely, delicate fragrance. That is one that you can actually pour over gelato or watermelon. It's very, very cool on watermelon. It's just a great way to enjoy your plants and enjoy patio season 2. Thanks for watching.